that ought to be, only respect the ruthless. It could be a bumper sticker, but maybe not. That somehow the decisive, you know, scary person is the one that people respect out of fear or some other way. So that a softer style sometimes feels non-leader-like. And I know that's a red flag in my life. My interviews here for this position were just peppered with the question, but can you really make the hard decisions? Because here I am, soft voice, smile a lot, you know, say hello, but can you really make the hard decisions? I can, by the way. I'm going to summarize here just for a minute while you're thinking about this stuff. I hope you're thinking about how your own life is influencing you. I really do see lots of what I do now, no big surprise, as a culmination of all of these experiences. I think people work best under conditions when the leader is being authentic, whatever that leader's personal style is. I just think it's impossible to pretend and not get caught in a trap or not come off as persuasive, you name it. It just doesn't work very well. I know I work best when there's not a lot of smoke and mirrors. I know I work best when it's just direct communication. Can't always do it. I also know that I work best when there's room for some kind of playfulness in the workplace. Another thing that wasn't always okay in some organizations. Well, as I said, I wanted to get to a point where, before we close today, why this even makes sense at a leadership conversation to talk about these things. But I hope I'm showing you that if you know what your behaviors and preferences are like, you will be able to see where you might need to intentionally add to your repertoire of behaviors. You know, I might, and I do sometimes, not smile, and I do sometimes get angry, and, you know, those have not always been those most comfortable things. I still apologize a lot when I think I've gotten angry in public. Someday I'll stop doing that, I hope. Know what behaviors are difficult for you even when they're needed, and that would be dealing with anger, those kinds of things that I mentioned before. I'm also, I have trouble rising above criticism that I don't think I've earned. I don't know. Putting deserved criticism in perspective and forgiving myself for not being perfect. I bet some of you relate to this kind of stuff. All of those things are part of this be perfect, make everything better role I have had in my life. I'm not very good at pulling rank. I had a former associate in my office who used to say to me, now this won't make any sense unless I explain it, Laker blue, remember our school colors? Okay, she would say, just put on the blue aura and go out there and act like a man. She would say that to me. I go, oh goodness. Some of you in the room know who that was, I'm quite sure. This pulling rank thing, it's really tough to do. On the other hand, sometimes it's not a bad idea. You need to understand the leadership environment you're in to know what you can and can't do in a place, and no matter who you are, we are all influencing each other all the time. So I guess I'm just asking that you really think about what you're like and what makes you most effective as you think about what else you're going to do in leadership. And that's really all I want to say, unless you want to share some more or if you have any questions.
Well, I want to ask you the John Wardrop question. Is that okay, John? How do you make the 51-49 decisions? They're right there on the edge. You go either way.
I'll tell you, it's as corny as it can be. The only thing I know to fall back on, if ironically you're asking me on a day when I have to make one of those decisions I'm kind of dreading, I can only say if you can say what you think is right for the organization, humane, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's the only way I convince myself about which side to go on. 5149 is terrible. I tend to give people the benefit of the doubt unless there's a pattern that is hurting the university. I might do that a little too much, maybe, I'm not sure. Have you had better answers to that, John? I hope so.
No, but where that comes from is the first boss I worked for after graduating from college and teaching for 6 years was a gentleman that never graduated from high school. And he made that comment in a management team meeting, which we had every Monday night. I guess we were grousing about some things. And he said, look, my decisions running this business were 75-25. I don't need you folks in this room. Unfortunately, the ones that I go to sleep with and can't get to sleep with about are the 5149s. And I need all of you here to bring your collective experiences in to help me make that decision the best way I can. That was an important lesson of leadership for me as a young guy growing up.
It's a great thing to say. It is true. And we spend most of our time on sort of small part of the organization when it's a large one, and you know, you have to deal with crucial kinds of stuff. Luckily, we have a wonderful president, a wonderful senior management team here, and I always do have those people in my office staff as well to lean on. It's important. Comments, questions? Okay then, thank you. Thanks for your attention.
Let me just say one thing, can I, Gayle?
You may.
I may be one of the oldest people in this room. I certainly am one of the oldest people in this room. I'm 72 years of age. This was a great experience for me. And
thank you.
This won't stop with me walking out that door. You've given me a lot to think about, and I hope that will be true for all these young leaders of today and future leaders of tomorrow.
Thanks, John. That's very kind. Thank you, everyone.